Hi, how you doing? So now I'd like to talk about um Ouija Ouija board. So I read a book by Aleister Crowley, and Aleister Crowley's book on the Ouija board goes into more detail than any other book I've ever read about the origins of the Ouija board. If you study the subject of the origins of the Ouija board, it talks about the origins of the Ouija board. But a more ancient subject is the origins of the planchette, which is this thing. As it turns out, in the Book of Enoch, in Enochian magic, which is something well known in like high magic and in a cult, in different cults and the Kabbalah. Enoch used a planchette, suggesting that the prophets of the Bible used. They didn't call it a planchette, but they used a triangular eye thing to communicate with the spirits on the other side. So the concept of using this triangle is something that's been around since before the Ouija board to communicate with spirits. I'll put a link on here. To be honest, I've only used the Ouija board a couple times when I was a kid because I had some friends into it. But this Ouija board has never been used. It's just something I'm hoping one day to find a friend that wants to use the Ouija board with me. Nobody I know really dares to use. Most people are scared to use the Ouija board. So I just have it for that day when I have a friend that will use the Ouija board with me. But I do have I'd have the other books of Moses. I have the other books of Moses. The Catholic Church took out most people think there's just 5 books of Moses: Genesis, Exodus, Leviticus, Numbers, and Deuteronomy. But really, the Torah is more than those books. But even in just what's believed to be the Torah, the 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th, and 10th books of Moses have been taken out. If you read the 6th and 7th books of Moses, is just a bunch of information. Like, for example, which is why I bring it up now, you can summon different spirits, and I'm not sure whether to call them demons or whatever. It depends. Here's Oziel. So you make this. You make this with dove's blood ink. I used to have some dove's blood ink. It's not made out of dove's blood. Dove's blood is a type of plant. And you write this on the parchment like that, and then in the center there, you can put the different seals depending on which demon you want to summon. This book's full of things like that. Dang it. It's I can't really balance it. See, like this deity here, the Santation of Anitwel. And there's the Latin name for him, Antiquilus. It's a seal for character and coercion and obedience. Each spirit that you would summon has a different character for coercion and obedience. This is when you summon these, they will be obedient to what you say. But they're each, like here's the different seals, and at the first here it says, there they are, the names of them. We saw the Oziel one, a very prominent a very prompt treasure spirit of the earth and of the sea. He appears in the form of a wild ox. You know, Marbuel appears in the form of an old lion. He delivers the treasures of water. I've got other things where you can pull fire drakes out of fire, and there's all kinds of fun stuff I'd like to get into. I haven't got into it a lot, you know. You know, so Moses was a magician. These are different sills, you know. So this is a sill that was placed on the breastplate of Aaron, you know. So there's all kinds of stuff like that, you know. The Necronomicon, I'll put a link in the description box for the Ouija board, and then I'll also put one in the origins of the Necronomicon. The Necronomicon's not even really, it's a book that's it's kind of like a Bible for all things Lovecraft. You know, the author Lovecraft, he wrote this, and it's known to be the most dangerous book. Like if you read it, it can be deadly. And there's been cases where spirits have appeared, and it was written by an Arab originally, supposedly, according to the story. The what's he called? I can't remember, but I haven't really read this, but both the Ouija board and the Necronomicon are known to be things that you shouldn't mess with, so I take that as kind of like a secret code that I should mess with it. So I like to collect things like this. I think it's fun, don't you? What I'm really into is tarot cards and witchcraft. I thought about getting a book on, who is it? It's right, I think Waite or someone wrote a book about black magic and how you could do black magic, but I see myself more as like a white witch. I don't really have the desire to do like that. Black magic wouldn't be useful to me because I don't want to, you know, I follow Jesus. You know, Jesus teaches to bless people, even your enemies, not to curse. You know, I don't want to curse anybody. If I really needed to curse someone, there's some things in here I could curse someone's home or things like that. I do have the ability to curse someone if I really wanted to, but why would I want to do that? You know, I'm into blessing people, not cursing people. You know, it's more just the taboo of it. You know, so it's fun. It's if you ask around, have you read the Necronomicon? You know, like almost everybody you ask has read the Necronomicon. You know, like probably about 60% of all people that are kind of into things like that probably have read this. You know, and then Eliphaz Levi gets into necromancy, and I've read about his teachings of necromancy, which might be useful if I wanted to resurrect the spirit of a dead loved one or something like that. But it's really hard to do. Now, resurrecting spirits is really hard to do. Jesus was good at that. Jesus was really good at witchcraft altogether. There's a lot of things that Jesus did as a witch that I'm not sure I could even do. You know, I imagine Jesus was probably a whiz at the Ouija board.